ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is Texas fiddler extraordinaire, Mr. Sean Orr. How you doing, partner?
Man, I'm doing all right. Good to see you, partner.
You too. It's been a while. It's been a while. Hope to see you down the Riverwalk again soon.
Man, it's been too long.
We've had a lot of nonsense to deal with, haven't we?
I just call it irregular.
So, Sean, you've been in the music industry for over 40 years.
Yes, sir.
Now, you're known as a fiddle player, especially here in Texas, but I know you play so many other instruments and didn't originally start out as a fiddle player. So how and when did you start out in the business, and when did you become a full-time fiddle player?
Well, just like any other teenage boy, I had stars in my eyes and thinking, man, I'd like to be a rock and roll lead guitar player. So I got myself eventually got a Les Paul Custom in high school, and had, high school versions of what you might call a garage band, just playing regular stuff like that. Nothing too grand. But then I did decide I would like to pursue music as a living. I studied music at North Texas State and a place called McLennan Community College in Waco. And eventually wound up playing guitar in country bands to make a living, because I'd rather, play in a country band than go out and flip burgers, you might say. And and actually I did do pretty well at that place in time.
Yep. I've seen all the old Facebook pictures of you, like the heavy rocker, the shaking.
Oh, yeah.
And you still got the long hair going on.
Yeah, I had the hair down to here and all that. Can't quite grow my hair out that long nowadays, but back in my younger days, for sure, I could do that. I actually wound up being in a rock band in the mid 1980s, and that was an interesting experience. When that was over, I had, you might say, an early midlife crisis. I wanted to do something completely and totally different, and I was always infatuated with the sound of the violin.
It's a beautiful instrument. No matter what style, it's a great instrument.
Oh, I totally agree. And so, despite what everyone told me, said, no, you can't do it. You got to start doing it when you're, a young person. But I said, I'm going to do something with it. And so I at the age of 24, I pounded on into it. And eventually, after a few months, I got to where people would, not run away when I started playing. Or I say, sawing a jackass in half.
So around the age of 24, you became a fiddle player. You're like, I'm now a fiddle player.
Yeah, that's when I started it in earnest, you might say. And then certainly by the age of 25, I was playing fiddle on stage.
Fantastic.
And it just kind of grew and grew and grew from there.
Okay. Now, you were a member of country band Perfect Stranger, who had a number 5 hit on the Billboard country charts with You Have the Right to Remain Silent, 1995. You want to talk us through that?
Okay. Well, actually, I had left the band by then.
Oh, that says a lot for my research there, Sean.
Okay. But I was still friends with them all.
Okay.
And still kept in good touch. I was in the band. Well, I won't go into why I left the band, but I did leave the band on my own volition. And I don't really regret it per se, but I wound up joining another band called Single Tree, which was a really, really good band, really popular in the Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas area. We also played in Tennessee quite a bit. But Perfect Stranger got the management. They got the hit, and all the power to them. And I'm really happy for their success, and I'm also happy for my time that I had with them, and I'm
great.
Proud to have been part of that.
Now, you're Texas born and raised, and in this state is known for country music, and you've played this style for so many years, among your rock years as well, and you've been involved with so many bands, various artists, but you also specialize and play beautifully Celtic music. How did you become involved with that? Because I know you know so many Irish songs, and how did you become involved with the Celtic style?
Well, I think it's because my mother gave me an Irish name.
Okay, Sean.
Sean Michael.
Sean Michael,
you might say. And Orr is a common name in Northern Ireland.
Yep.
as well. So it all fit, and it wasn't. It was kind of like one of those things. I wasn't looking for it. It found me,
Okay.
and a friend of mine who's actually a drummer, he called me and said that he was in an Irish band and looking for a fiddle player, and would I like to audition? And I thought, playing Irish music. And I said, well, I can go back and play Amarillo by Morning for the 18,000th time. Not that there's anything wrong with Amarillo by Morning, but I could try something new. And I said,
Yep.
why not? So I went and did the audition. And it was kind of interesting because they played a song, and I started playing some stuff to it, and they all go, wow, man, the guy can improvise. The lad said, well, we like you, and we like your fiddle playing. Right. And they said, can you learn to play Irish? And I thought to myself, I thought I was. No, I still had a long way to go,
Well, I mean, I've also seen you playing the mandolin. You've jammed with me and played mandolin.
I did get a mandolin as a teenager, and by the time I took over on the fiddle, I already had a number of years on the mandolin. Here, I can show you one right here. You may have never seen.
Okay.
This is what you call a Mando caster. So it's like
it's like a Fender Telecaster. I know the listeners can't see it. We're on like a Zoom type thing here, so we're on camera here, so we can see.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
So, it's a mandolin.
Next time you're down in San Antonio, you need to bring that with you. I'd like to have a look at that. Get up and jam with me. So we're going to play our first track, Sean. And before we play our first track, tell us about the track we're about to play. Is this Celtic? It's called Broken String Jig / Alison's Beard. Tell us about that title.
Okay, so here's a story on the Broken String Jig. Is that Wes Pascoe, who was the guitar player in Pub Crawler, that was the Irish band that I joined.
Okay.
He was you might call him a passionate player, which meant he would often break strings on his guitar, which meant when he broke a string, well, you had to change the string. So what do you do in the meantime? So this was a fiddle tune that I wrote that the band could play without a guitar player. So you'd just have bass, drums, and fiddle, and you didn't really miss the guitar. So Wes could go change his strings. So we called it. It developed the name the Broken String Jig because it was something we played for a broken string. And we also played the other one behind it as well. I composed both of them. And the second one's a little bit of a joke that might do some research, but it comes from one of the Canterbury Tales, a last name, Allison, a priest, explains, Allison, you have a beard.
Okay.
Somewhat of a joke.
Okay. Well, let's play that track. fiddle skills of Mr. Sean Orr. That was fantastic. That's a broken string jig, dash Alison's beard. Okay, Sean, you've collaborated with some great artists. You've shared the stage with some top names in the industry. To name a few, Dr. Hook, Toby Keith, also Grammy instrumentalists Michael Savoy, Joel Guzman, Cindy Cash and Johnny Gimbel. You've also shared billing with the great Willie Nelson, Kenny Rogers, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, and you've played all over the United States, Canada, and Europe. How did you make all these connections?
Well, a lot of those were opening acts, and sometimes the venue that we were playing in, so like say Kenny Rogers and Willie Nelson, that would be over at Billy Bob's, okay. the biggest honky tonk in allegedly the planet. And so that was in my days with Perfect Stranger. And so we would actually go and play Billy Bob's for a whole week. And then the big artists would come in, so we would open up for them there. So that's Willie and Kenny. Wow. Right there. Similar thing with Dr. Hook, the gentleman who hired the band for his event asked them that if I could come sit in. And so they said, sure, we'll have him for a song. But I actually wound up playing the rest of the night with him. Once they heard me play, it was
that's amazing. The people you've collaborated with both in the studio and also on stage. And I'm blessed to have shared the stage with you and recorded with you. We'll get round to that in a bit. Here's a question for you that a lot of people ask, and I've heard many people ask this. What would you say the difference is, if there is a difference, between the violin and the fiddle?
Oh, about $10,000.
And that's it, really?
Well, it's really on just how you play it. It may be like, what's the difference between a classical guitar and a steel string guitar?
Okay. Right.
There are some differences, but they're nominal differences.
Yeah.
Now, fiddle players tend to like metal strings, and I do play with what are called helichords, which is a metal string. But some violinists use that as well, and most violinists will use a gut or a synthetic cord, but there's lots of fiddle players that use that. A lot of fiddle players tend to like a flatter bridge. Most violinists tend to like a more of an arch bridge. I tend to like more of an arch bridge.
Okay. Because I remember calling you because my daughter, who's 10, my daughter, she took violin in school, fourth grade. She's 2.5 months in because she broke her arm and missed a month and had a cast on, but she's good now. But I was asking you because I knew nothing. Like, where am I going to? I've got to buy one of these. You saying they've got to be set up and stuff. And as it turned out, the school actually hired them out for $50 for the year, and it's already set up. So that's the road we went down in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good deal right there.
So you don't know, because you don't know how she's going to go on it, but she's doing okay. She's coming home, and she's reading the notes and stuff, and she's showing a lot of interest in it. So that's what we actually did. So the difference, folks, between a fiddle and a violin is $10,000. You heard it here first, Mr. Sean Orr. Right, we're going to play another track. Now, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here, because I've actually had a request to play this song on the show today. Awesome. The dedication is to Phil Bowman over in California, and it's actually a song of mine. But you did play the solo on this song, Sean, and this is the first time we recorded together.
And I appreciate that. And may I add that it's always, whenever I do a track for you, there's always a unique challenge to do it. I never can do something on autopilot. Never.
Well, thank you. I'm going to take that as a compliment. But the first time we ever recorded together was this song called Manhattan and Me.
I had a taxi, caught a plane, and a vacuum resting on my knee. My invitation read just one companion's name, my old friend Manhattan and me. As I was touching down the skyline beam, the welcome smile from the top of the rock to give me liberty. Then we embraced again, we're stepping out in style. The two of us, Manhattan and me. Nobody breathing down my neck. I didn't need to watch the time. I took a bite of that big apple, saved a little room for my big city appetite. Breathing down my neck. I didn't need to watch the time. I took a bite of that big apple, saved a little room for my big city appetite. To ride an uptown train, stroll the park in pouring rain, jam with Andrew C. on Bleecker Street. The three of me just drinking near the shades of green. Memories, Manhattan and me. To ride an uptown train, stroll the park in pouring rain, jam with Andrew C. on Bleecker Street. Drinking, joking, sleeping in the shades of green. Memories, Manhattan and me. My old friend, Manhattan and me. The two of us, Manhattan and me. Memories, Manhattan and me.
I'm not just saying it because it's my song, but the fiddle makes that song for me, and it always has. I wanted something on it, and we had the guitar going, acoustic. Greg Galindo playing the acoustic and electric with the riffs and stuff. But then it come to me, I think it'd be great with a fill, and as soon as you put that on, and for me, that's what makes the song. But thank you for playing on that one.
Well, it's a pleasure. No, thanks for collaboration, and it's a vice versa. The song brought that out in me, and right. Like I said, when I play with you, I'm not on autopilot, and so when I listened to it again, I said, I really hadn't done anything like that since then, and that says a lot for your abilities to write a good song and bring out something new, something different. That's unique.
Well, thank you.
So,
that's
hats off to you.
I appreciate it, especially coming from you, man. I really appreciate that. I wanted to. I'm loving your porch live streams that you're doing, and I saw your son. I've known your son Ian since he was a little kid, and I've seen Ian's on the ballroom now.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah,
Ian's becoming quite a good ballroom player.
Yeah.
He actually picked it up. He went with me to a little festival over in Monroe, Louisiana, and we were just kind of doing some practicing, and he picked it up and just started playing along with it, kind of, sort of. And we went from the practice to the stage, and he just came with us, and he's been playing ever since.
And you can tell he's loving it. He's absolutely loving it as well. And it's a great little setup you got there with the guys. You have different things going on for them streams. I know we're all doing the live streams, but hopefully getting back to normal soon. But
yes, please do.
Well, as I said earlier, you've collaborated and shared the stage with many greats, and I'm honoured not only to have recorded with you, but on numerous occasions, but also to play live with you. And we have in the past in San Antonio, the times you've been down at Waxy O'Connor's, we've got up and jammed. But tell me, how did you come to play at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C.? What's the story of that one?
Okay, that was part of a project called the Ridgetop Syncopators. And the Ridgetop Syncopators was a band that specialized in the 1920s, 1930s, to a degree, the 1940s Texas swing, emphasized Texas swing.
Texas swing, okay.
And so there was actually no drummer in the outfit. And Mark Rubin was who's was spearheading it, and he had actually quite a bit of connections. And I'm very certain that was his connection. That, but the people heard us and said, "Well, that's a unique sound. That's not something that other people are doing." So it was actually part of a Duke Ellington festival, of all things.
Well, it was, yeah. Right.
And they flew us there, and we played that evening. You know, we left early that morning, got there in the afternoon, set up, went to the hotel room, took a shower, played the event, went and got something to eat, went back to the hotel room, slept, and then early the next morning we were back on the plane again. It was like zip, 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 zip. You know,
but just like that.
It was pretty cool. You know, to play. You know, you're at the Kennedy Center and all that, and they treated us pretty all right. And another collaboration that some folks might know that's kind of new that you may not know about is that I just finished doing an album with a gentleman named Michael Moorcock.
Okay.
Who is better known as a very famous science fiction writer. But he was also a member of a band called Hawkwind.
Oh, Hawkwind. I remember Hawkwind.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
And he wrote songs for Blue Oyster Cult and that kind of stuff. And here, I'll reach over here.
Yeah.
And it's called Michael Moorcock of the Deep Fix, and Sean Orr is all over it.
Wow! And this is a new project.
This is new. Yeah. This is since that's a new collaboration. But Michael Moorcock's pretty well known person in a lot of areas.
Where can everybody find that?
I would imagine in the normal outlets. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
It's on Amazon and all that. That's a vinyl record there.
Yeah.
It's actually supposed to be blue vinyl, but I haven't yet to open it because I figured it might be special one day, so I'm going to keep it as is.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, the vinyl's coming back in now, isn't it? I've noticed.
That's what I hear. I haven't dug up my turntable yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking of actually getting one because I was home just over a year ago, and I was up in the loft in my parents' house, and the amount of vinyls since a kid that I've had is still there that my dad's kept for me. And
cool.
I remember my 10th birthday getting I was a big Elvis nut when I was a little kid. Elvis's 40 greatest hits on pink vinyl, a double album, and it's still there when I went home. But I know a lot of people are doing the vinyl right now. I don't know about you, but I was talking last week's guest, Enda Keegan, friend of mine from Irish musician in New Jersey. Since I've been back playing live again, I've noticed it's not as popular selling the CDs as I used to because there's so many platforms that people are streaming now. Everyone's on Spotify. The Alexa thing's out now. Because, I mean, the Spotify thing and all, it's, you know, by the time the amount of downloads you got to have before the artist really makes anything, the industry's going that way, isn't it?
Well, it's just maybe like how we are right now. It is what it is, and we may not like it, but we learned how to adapt and do things. We can't make money that way anymore, but we got to think of something else. We got to be one step ahead of the curve. And all that now, and I am doing some digital sales. I did log into my PayPal account and go, oh, okay, that's nice. You know, some digital sales just all of a sudden showed up that I wasn't expecting. But,
well, it's all marketing, isn't it, and getting it out there. You know, where can everybody find your music?
I think right now CD Baby's probably the best outlet.
CD Baby, okay.
It's on iTunes as well. And
do you do stuff from your website? I know it's SeanOrr.com. SEAN.
Yeah, that's my website.
Yeah, SeanOrr.com, SeanOrr.com. So you can get your music from there too, right? Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah,
we just talked about you doing the porch live streams. Venues are only just slowly opening. I'm so blessed to be back on the Riverwalk, back at Waxy O'Connor's here in San Antonio, and I know you do most of your performance around the Austin area. And how's it looking there now at the moment?
Well, Austin's still dead.
Really, it is. Okay.
Pretty much, I'll do a thing in about 2 weeks, but it'll be strictly a live stream from a place called the Little Longhorn. Okay. I played one gig about 2 months ago, kind of over there in West Austin. But Austin's a different place, and they're still maybe if not an actual lockdown mode, they're kind of in mental lockdown mode in Austin.
Really?
Most of the gigs I've been playing this year have been outside of Austin. So
Do you do much in
here,
Bastrop? It's Bastrop where you're based, right?
Yeah, I live here in Bastrop,
Yep.
and there's 3 different places I play at semi-regularly here in Bastrop,
Yeah.
all downtown. And I play a lot in the Round Top area and down around Schulenburg, and I play almost every Friday in Canyon Lake at a place called Goofy's.
Well, okay. So it's coming back. I mean, you got stuff going on, yeah? Because now the live stuff, we all worried for a while. We were like, what's going to happen, you know? But and I saw the old B.D. Riley's went on 6th Street. That was such a shame.
Oh, man, that was heart-crushing.
Because you played there. How many years did you play at that place?
20 years.
20 years. Wow.
Yeah, well, just shy of 20 years, but
yeah.
Yeah,
because I know the owner, John. I know they've got the other location, because me being from Liverpool, the other location on Muller is where the Liverpool football supporters, soccer in America. That's the supporters club, the one in Muller, and that's still going. But that one on 6th Street, I mean, whenever I was in Austin, that's where I'd go.
Yeah, you know, and it was a live music venue.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Music 7 days a week, and sometimes, you know, they had an afternoon and an evening act. And I started playing there December of 2000, and then they decided to close doors permanently, and they shut down in June, and then they decided to shut down permanently in August.
Yeah, it's so sad that a lot of businesses have gone that way. Yeah. Okay, my friend, we're going to play one final track. This one here is called "The Wrong Man," and it features you on vocals too. Tell us a bit about that one.
Okay, this is a song by a Texas artist, not very well known. His name is Mundo Earwood. That's who wrote this song.
Okay.
And say that again, Mundo Earwood.
Mundo Earwood.
When I was young, when I first started playing the fiddle, Mundo had a regular Thursday night gig at a place, I think it was called the Red Barn. It was on I-45 just south of 1960 over Spring, Texas.
Yeah.
And even though I was not all that good, he would invite me up and I would play with the band.
Wow.
And this was one of his originals, which I always loved. It's in a style we call a 4/4 shuffler.
Yeah.
That's it's a great song to two-step to. And I always thought it's one of the best songs in that style I ever heard. And so I said, I got to record that.
How old is this actual song?
This would be in the early 80s. So we're looking at 40 years old.
Right.
But I've been playing it, since the mid 1980s. And Mundo's no longer with us. He died about 3 or 4 years ago, unfortunately.
Let's play this in his memory with Sean Orr on fiddle and also vocals. This is "The Wrong Man."
Okay.
Don't love you like I do, and I'd leave him for me if I were you. Well, I knew in a minute that his heart wasn't in it when I saw you dancing with him in the crowd. All the while your eyes adored him, he just held you like it bored him. So I guess I better tell you how I feel. You're in love with the wrong man, holding the wrong hand, kissing the wrong lips. that you're gonna give him. The kind of love his kind just don't deserve. Baby, face it, take your mark and don't replace it. So I guess I better take you home with me. You're in love with the wrong man, holding the wrong hand, kissing the wrong lips so hopelessly. You're in love with the wrong man, he don't love you like I do. And I'd leave him for me if I were you. Yes, I'd leave him for me if I were you.
Well, Sean, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your time, your great stories. It's been great, and I hope to see you soon. Hope you can get down the Riverwalk sometime with the lovely family.
Yes, sir. Let's raise a glass in person. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it's been a long time, man, and I appreciate you, Sean. Thank you so much, partner.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Sean. God bless, buddy. Love to the family. Thank you.